a lot of analysis, but I wanted to take a little bit of time today to talk a little bit about what we hear from customers. We spend a lot of time with end users and discussing energy requirements and retrofits and how we make some of these decisions. And so I thought maybe I'd just take us through a quick journey on what we've learned in the last 5 years. Maybe. So we're almost 5 years old now, and we've kind of broken down the journey into three real interesting phases. First one is how do we measure this data? So a lot of work we do, we actually collect data both from bills and from meters in the homes or in the commercial businesses and building management systems, and try to make sense of it from the data perspective. And we've done lots of work on dashboards and pretty graphs, and we're quite proud of ourselves when we build a pretty graph, but at the end of the day, most customers say, hey, that looks really great, and they look at it for a few days and then they turn it off and never look at it again. So we really starting to kind of evolve our conversation with customers and our partners about, how do we get more value out of this data? And so one of the things that we're working on right now in our product today, we're not going to spend any time on the product, but it's about optimizing the workflows and the analysis that goes into the data that comes out of the graphs. So, what does it do for me? What's it worth to me? How can I get better return on my budget? How do I automate some of these basic tasks? Is every bit as important as the data itself. And we do that with a platform called Building 360. So, and we've got lots of really good partners in the region, and we've done lots of work with kind of field trials and commercial deployments as well. So today we're going to talk about a couple of those projects, and I'm lucky enough to have one of our partners here to talk a little bit about one of the projects we've worked on with Housing Nova Scotia. So after we leave analysis, one of the things that we hear an awful lot of is, you help us, you gather our data, you help us visualize our data, you give us some indicators of where we should look a little closer, but what do I do about it? In other words, what action do I take? What kind of products are going to fit this model? We're really good at exposing problems, we're not as good at exposing solutions. So a lot of the time we're speaking with customers now and with partners, we try to spend a lot more time thinking about how does this workflow work to go in and do an engineering study, or even if you're a homeowner or you're a commercial business owner, how do I get from this perceived need to the product that's going to fix that need? So that's the action component to this. So we're spending a lot more time automating the discovery of these situations where they could use a particular product, and we map that to efficiency products and services. So again, we're really in the online dating business. We're trying to match a need with a product. Really, so at the end of the day, is what we do. So I just want to talk a little bit about some of the projects we're working on, and in the region, we've got lots of interesting projects going on with lots of great partners. So here in Nova Scotia, we do some work with Efficiency Nova Scotia, and we do a lot of work with the Nova Scotia government from the point of view of Housing Nova Scotia. New Brunswick, we work with NB Power, and the province and Summerside, we've done some work. And the city of Fredericton's done a fair amount of work with us as well. So that's kind of the portfolio of projects we've worked on in the past little while in Atlantic Canada, and we've got a number of projects going on internationally as well. So what's it mean to me? This is a typical scenario where we get engaged with a customer, we do analytics, we find some savings, we make a recommendation, they implement, and then they get savings. And this has been happening for years and years. There's nothing new about this. One of the things that we're working on, though, is how do we speed this process up? How do we take the 2 weeks to 2 days to 2 hours to identify these opportunities? And then how do we make sure that we present this in a way to the customer that they can action almost right away? So in other words, if I give the customer the problem, I'm also presenting the solution at the exact same time. So we've noticed that your building management system's not working well. Here's the recommendation, by the way. You may need to spend some money, but it comes with a 35 or a 45% return on investment. Would you like this program? Push a button, and everything gets done. So that's the kind of scenario we're looking for to speed up some of these decisions. So that's kind of a one scenario thing, but I think one of the things I wanted to do today is actually bring up one of our customers and our partners to talk a little bit about their project that they've been working on for about, what, 6-9 months now? Yeah, so about 6 or 9 months, and so I'm going to let them kind of talk a little bit about what they've been up to, and then I think I'll jump back in here towards the end.
Okay, thank you. My name is Andy Kawar. I'm the manager of building design at Housing Nova Scotia, and we had built. Yep, there you go. Thanks. So we had built. Is it working? No, I don't know what. I didn't touch anything. We built 3 passive houses as part of our energy reduction initiative, which was started in 2014. As well, we have, whenever we do upgrades to our buildings, we add insulation and make the envelope more efficient. So after building the 3 passive houses, which as we worked with Natalie Leonard, we got 2 of them certified. We wanted to continue to monitor the energy usage sort of post-occupancy. And so we got this grant from CMHC to basically in 2 research areas. One is to monitor the energy use in the passive houses, 5 of them being ours, and we got 4 more that were built through the Efficiency Nova Scotia pilot project, so that we have a data set that can be comparable between the affordable. We build affordable housing, obviously, but then the 4 other passive homes are just for private residents. As well, we have, I think, 9 buildings that were enhanced in terms of their envelope. And all of these have monitors, at least the passive houses have monitors in them, working with Simptek, and of course, the data is being uploaded on their dashboard. We're also fortunate to be working with NSCC students from the Middleton campus, first year and second year, with Anne Lombardi and Scott Henderson, and they'll be actually doing the analysis on the 2 research areas. That's about it. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. So I think I'm just going to share some of the things we're working on here in the next couple slides, and put my mic back on here so we're being recorded. So, beyond dashboards and kind of creating an analysis of your buildings, we're working a lot on how do we help segment markets out there where we can help develop program strategies from targeting homeowners with particular profiles. We're looking for opportunities to automate the analysis of homes and commercial buildings, so we can create automated models, and that's one of the things that we're working on. And I think one of the things we wanted to do today is kind of reach out to potential partners or suppliers that could work on similar things with us. Supply chain optimization. The more and more we talk to customers, the more and more we realize that we're using kind of workflows that have been probably used for 50 years, and when you look at the retail industry and the supply chain that happens behind the retail industry, we can learn a lot about how things get presented to customers and delivered to customers and optimized. And I think that's one of the things that we'd like to do, is take a look at how we optimize the supply chain, and it would really help us drive a lot more projects, both from the service provider and from the end customer's perspective. We'd like to work more with suppliers from the point of view of modeling particular solutions, whether that's storage or demand response, or just about any type of service that we could provide to customers. Try to model that in numerical and situational terms, so then we can automate this matchmaking process with the end customers. The business case is a big deal. Present the business case to the customers in near real time. That's generally what's missing. We need to really put things in context of the end clients to, not necessarily look through all their bills and all their energy use to come up with their own solution of what they should address. We should be able to go to those customers and say, here's a particular solution in the market, or maybe a couple of solutions in the market that we can rank based on return on investment, so the customers then can choose those things quickly and implement easily. So it's one of the big things we're focused on this year. And then this optimization of offers is another one that is kind of high on our list this year. It helps us kind of take large amounts of data and then create some targeted marketing campaigns to customers. Generally customers are pretty happy about getting individualized offers rather than large blasts of things they don't know is relevant to them or not. So that's the other thing we're working on. So I just wanted to kind of wrap it up and get us close to drawing our prizes as we can. But we are looking for partners in energy auditing companies. Utilities and efficiency companies are looking at segmenting their customer base and creating offers. And the second part of this is the energy service providers. We're not in the business of implementing energy products. We're in the business of matching demand with solutions. So if you have interest in doing some research or even some real trials on, how we put some of these products in the hands of customers, we're interested in having that conversation. And that's it. So short and sweet. And I appreciate everybody's coming today and everybody hanging out towards the end of the day. And I think we'll hopefully get to some prizes, and feel free to look me up on LinkedIn or come see me, and be happy to chat.
I'm curious just to learn a little bit more about the project that you and Nancy are working on with housing construction. Where's it at and what are your goals with it?
Yeah, so Housing Nova Scotia, one of the things that happens with a lot of our partners when we're doing trials and research is we're really good at collecting large amounts of data and presenting in a way that kind of makes it easy to make some business decisions with. So a lot of times I kind of glaze over the measure and analyze part of the presentation because we're now kind of focused on the action side of this business. But the measure and analyze aren't trivial, right? So we do a lot of work, we've done a lot of work on how you collect very large amounts of data, put them in a secure place, massage the data, and present them back to our partners. And most of the time those are industry professionals, because they actually do like graphs. And I think that's one of the things the platform's quite good at, is putting tools in the hands of the technical professionals. Even as it sits today, that's a very useful thing to use the platform for. What we believe is for adoption in the mass market, we're going to have to take the next step, which is make these offers really easy to understand from a consumer or commercial point of view. So the short answer to your question is we're good at getting a bunch of data and analyzing a bunch of data in a platform.
Thank you.